This is the first in a series of videos that I want to do addressing the manipulative shit that black men say to make black women jump through hoops. This is number one. In this one, I want to talk about some of the things that are said to get you to give to them in a vacuum. So you're giving, you're jumping around, doing all this stuff to try to please him, while he sits in judgment to determine whether what you're doing is good enough or not. Let me give you a quote, because I know that sounds kind of vague, but let me show you where I'm going with this. And this is an actual quote that I found from a guy on Facebook. He's saying how women can do a lot of stuff but still not meet his standards. So he says you can be clean, attractive, and financially stable, but still not be able to give a man what he needs. Ladies, I'm not concerned about your physical appearance. What can you do for my heart and soul? Can you supply love and spiritual nourishment? If you can fulfill my physical needs but not my spiritual needs or nourish my heart, you're essentially replaceable. Now let's talk about that. This is bullshit. Number one, you ain't no fucking rabbi, priest, or pastor. Okay, it's not your job to fulfill his spiritual needs. That's his responsibility. If he feels empty spiritually, then he needs to figure out a way to do that. That's not what you're there for. Unfortunately, black women have this mentality that they have to be all and do all for black men. At some point, you guys have to wake up and realize when you're getting gamed on and when you have to establish boundaries for what you're going to do for a man. If he's not in a position to fulfill you spiritually, then black women are the number one demographic running their behinds up in churches all across the country. Obviously, black men have made no effort to fulfill anybody spiritually. So what in the world does he do when they don't even go to church, don't want to go to church, have every reason in the world why they shouldn't go to church or listen to any other man, which means they're not going to listen to the pastor, but they want you to do that work? Tell him no. That's not my job. I'm not going to fulfill you spiritually. I'm not even going to waste my time trying. That's your responsibility to fulfill yourself. If you don't want to do that or you feel a vacuum, that's your role and your responsibility to make sure that you get that need fulfilled. My role only is to love you and support you in the goals that we have established as a couple, as a family in this household. That's it. I'm not your mentor. I'm not your pastor. I'm not your priest. I'm not your spiritual guru. I'm none of those things, and don't even try to make me wear that hat. So see what this does is it basically sets you up for failure. And unfortunately, when I saw this thread, what I saw were a lot of black women signing this blank check. Because that's what this is. So he's not specific, because I asked, what is it that a woman has to do? What is that you expect her to say? What does, your spiritual needs being met look like? What does nourishing your heart sound like? What is it that they're doing to make those things happen? Not one of those motherfuckers had a response. So in a situation like that, they're just regurgitating some nonsense that they heard some other fool say and, using it as a tool to get in your head and to make you jump through hoops to please them. Don't fall for the game. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So stop letting them manipulate you with these ambiguous concepts and these words that mean nothing. They sound good, I admit that. It sounds like all positive and deep and, psychologically astounding and miraculous and all that old stuff. But if a person tells you that they have a need, they have a desire, and they can't explain why, and they can't explain what you do to meet it, even though they're asking you to, that's how you know it's a setup. You guys need to talk more to these dudes. You spend too much time giggling and sexing them and all this worrying about what they think and feel. You need to worry about what you think and feel. In a situation like this, these guys are just, I'm seriously thinking that they pass these garbage sayings around amongst each other as tools to use against black women. I'm throwing the bullshit flag on this play because it's just so blatant. I just don't understand why more women don't see what's right in front of them. He is basically, this is a setup for you to fail, like I said, but it puts you in a position where Nothing you ever do is good enough, because since you're operating in a unknown scenario, you don't know what the boundaries are, you don't know what the expectations are, you don't know what the performance guidelines are. You just kind of bouncing around doing everything, hoping that you magically hit on the on what will work. So look at how much energy you're exerting, how much time, how much effort, how much emotion. What are you getting back for that? Nothing. So stop doing it. If he can't tell you exactly what he needs from you, and then you can and then assess if what he needs is something you can even deliver. Can you do it? Are you interested in doing it? That is a fair relationship. If the answer in either case is no, then you understand right off the gate that that's not the man for you, and you can move on. But that's not what they want. They want to use you as much as they can to suck your female energy while giving you as little as possible, if anything at all. So ladies, you got to understand, and this really is, I think, the basis, the core of this issue is self-esteem. If you feel that your time and energy and your essence is valuable, you won't give it to just anybody. You'll look at him and be like, well, okay, well, if I do all that for you, what's in it for me? And it may sound selfish, but I think women, especially black women, need to learn how to be more selfish. Y'all give too much. You do too much. You're forever there like a never-ending breast for these grown men, nursing at you. Stop it. They need to stand on their own as men. How in the world can you respect them and look at them as somebody who should be a leader and that you can follow and submit to, when he can't lead? He doesn't even know how. He doesn't even know what to say or do to position himself as a leader. All he understands is he has to manipulate and control and denounce your greatness, your abilities, and stand on your neck so that he is taller than you. But that's not leadership. He's compressing your greatness in order to make himself feel better than what you do. That's not greatness. That's somebody who's very insecure, and you should leave him alone. But the bottom line is, you as a woman, you deserve to have a loving relationship with somebody who's supportive and who can fulfill your needs. If this guy in your life cannot do that, and he presents some kind of one-sided pimp player situation for you to involve yourself in, please understand this is not a relationship, and leave him alone. I'll come back with some other descriptive behaviors that men say to make black women jump through hoops. There's like hundreds of them. Talk to you soon. I'm Deborah Cooper. Visit me on the blog survivingdating.com or askheartbeat.com.